Welcome back to another episode, guys. I'm your host, Greer White. This is episode 8 of Hunt and Harvest, and I'm here to tell you it's time to stop waiting and start growing. And I'm not just talking about farming. This goes out to anyone out there who's wishing to chase their dreams and stop feeling stuck in their life and get going with what they have in mind about what they want their life to look like in the future, whether that be next year or 30 years from now. It is time for you to make this change, to make a change to get there, because no one is going to do it for you, and waiting is pointless. Yes, there's a time to bide your time or calculate a risk or whatever, but you are more than likely acting too fearful or overthinking it, and there is no reason for you to do that. Let me tell you from a guy who's been doing a day job, splitting his time between content creation, a podcast, YouTube, trying to do short form, horrible at that, horrible at everything really, but getting better at those things, trying to run a farm, turning my family's land into a peach farm, trying to get into poultry so I can sell eggs, doing cut flowers, which I don't know anything about like I do peaches, and I'm just trying to learn so much with that, and get the social media up and running and be able to sell fruit and do a actual business and create my business and make it profitable and sell stuff at the end of my road and do a farm stand and one day get a real storefront. I mean, I have all these dreams and goals. You should too. And I know that you've thought of something in your life that you would be like, wow, that would be an amazing version of me. I would love to do that. And guess what? That version of you is totally accessible. I'm not there yet, but I can see that it's accessible through other people's success, through the current success that I already have now in my life. I'm so rich, yet I am so broke. It is so apparent that God has given me these visions, these ideas, these understandings to help me propel forward, to get there, because I know I'll be able to better serve Him and serve others and help others and feed into my community by working every day to achieve this purpose. And if you have something in your head, which I know you do, you need to think about it every day. And you need to obsess over it. You need to understand that it is possible. You need to stop letting yourself be doubted by others, by yourself. Usually it's yourself. And filter all of that out and give yourself the best possible chance to actually think about it. Sit without your phone, without the distractions, whether you're driving, whether you're sitting at the dinner table eating a meal, or freaking staring at the wall. You need these private moments with no distraction to think, how do I want my life to look and how do I get there? You need to make that change, because you're going to be stuck in limbo mode forever. Forever. You're going to end up having a family and you're still going to feel like shiz. You're going to feel like poo-poo. You're not going to like it. You're going to be like, what have I done with my life? You love your family or whatever scenario you're in. You're like, this is good, but I'm not who I thought I'd be, or I'm not where I want to be, or I should be doing this to get here. It's never too late to start anything at any time. So to any of you out there at any age, freaking find out what it is that your purpose is, that you would love to live that life, and feed into that as much as possible, so that way you can then serve your community and be the best version of yourself, because it all starts in here. Oh, I just touched the mic. Hopefully that wasn't too annoying. It all starts in here. Charity starts at home. You cannot help others if you are incapable of helping yourself, It's the same concept of, I can't help my neighbor with his firewood and his food for the year. I'm imagining this pre-modern world. I can't help him because I'm cold and my family's hungry, But once I'm warm and my family's not hungry, I can help him. I can help my neighbor and his family. That kind of thing. You're going to be able to be that best version of yourself via achieving your dream. And I, of course, have not achieved my dream, but I feel so wildly different walking this path, knowing that I am going towards a thing. It's not even a tip of the spear pinnacle. Oh, this is it. Once I got this, I'll be happy. That's not how I'm viewing it, but I'm just so happy to have the path, because you have to have one. You can't just do nothing. You can't be in waiting. Well, you can, and it's not. I've been there, and it's not where you want to be. It's unsure footing. It's sadness. It's emptiness. It's loneliness. You're alone even with yourself because you know you're not who you really should be. And there's no point in waiting, and you need to get started on this. I have a couple notes I wanted to go over. It's, for me, it's farming. It's making content. It's trying to one day have an actual storefront. It's to provide produce, high quality produce and actual good stuff to people and entertain people and educate people. You know, I'm learning to navigate all of this because I'm so young and I don't know enough. I wish I knew more, and that's the whole thing. Is you have to keep learning. You know, I'm 24 years old, and you just have to keep going, keep farming, keep creating content, and the content piece is so valuable. I never would have thought it was this valuable. I used to not even want a camera on me. No pictures, no videos, no nothing. Growing up, I thought it was so strange. I don't even know why. I think my dad told me that the Native Americans didn't like their photo being taken, and I just took that to heart. I don't know why. Not a logistical reason, but that's how I grew up. And now here I am staring down the barrel of the camera talking to you on a podcast. I have a podcast. I know anyone can just make one. And that's the cool part about it, is that it teaches you to go through that embarrassment ritual, that humiliation ritual, and grow. Because before I filmed this, and all week, I've been thinking, what am I going to film for my podcast? I want to do a podcast every single week, and I struggle sometimes because I'm thinking so hard. I'm overthinking, well, what's the podcast going to be about? What's the topic? Well, I can't talk about that. I'm not super knowledgeable yet, or I have the knowledge in my head, but it's not good enough for the audience, or this or that. You know, that's fake. It's you doubting yourself and giving yourself walls in front of you to not do the thing. And all of these lessons that content has taught me and that farming has taught me relates to basically everything in life. You wait around for something to do, you wait around for that thing that you need to do, thinking, I'll handle it later. It just becomes a 10x problem, especially on the farm. I mean, weeds, irrigation, problems, you know, frozen pipe, cracked pipe. Those are just ones that I dealt with like yesterday. So it's hard I don't even know what day it is. But you get my point. It is literally, there's no point in waiting. And it's the same thing with trying to achieve your dreams. You need to start growing whatever it is, your business, your mindset, your relationships, your health. You need to start cultivating purpose. And if you already have it, in mind, and you feel like you're lulling around, or you're right past the optimistic stage, and now you're like, you know more about it and you're being pessimistic about it, you just need to get to the next step. And that inaction will keep you in the same spot. And you need to make the choice every day. There is not a day that goes by where I'm not thinking, how can I grow my YouTube channel? How can I make my farm bigger? How can I actually sustain and provide for my family in a way that alleviates their responsibility to take care of me, to go to work? You know, I know that everyone needs something to do. I'm over-explaining myself. I just want to be able to provide for my family and make these things work and make these things happen, so that way I can have the autonomy and the freedom to be able to feed into my loved ones, feed into my community, and help others. And I want to make this podcast, and I don't want to overthink it. I don't want to think, okay, I can't do this. Then it'll be a whole nother week before I film a podcast, because I was too scared to think about or to upload about a certain topic. You know, that is crazy. You should not allow that to stop you. You can literally do anything, and there's not enough time on this planet for you to waste. Everyone says to you, you've got all the time in the world. You're 24, you're 23, you're 22, you're 20, you're 19, whatever. Take this job, do this, go this way, and then a couple years from now you can do this or whatever. Sorry if you hear the dogs. That's crazy. Do not let them say that to you. Well, let them say it, but filter it out. I mean, I think that is so fake and crazy for people to say. You got your whole life ahead of you. It could end tomorrow. And you spent the last day at your job you hate, or being mean to your family, or not doing that thing that sort of scared you or made you feel it was a little risky. That's silly. That's silly. This system wants us to be employees, and it wants us to be, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with having a job or being an employee. I literally am doing that right now. But it wants us to just take the easy route, the comfortable route, and not grow as people, and not be neighborly, not be loving, not be kind. Just wake up, drink your coffee, eat your bacon and eggs, get to work 10 hours, whatever, 8 hours, whatever, come back, commute home, sit on the TV, complain. That's not life. We're not meant to live that way. We're meant to be outside. We're meant to be working on things. We're meant to have passion, drive, goals, purpose. We've removed, for the majority of the world, we have removed, or in the first world, we have removed the problem of survivability. Like, I'm about to go sleep in a bed with a roof and hot water and food and a fridge and all this stuff. Peach, get out of here. It's my new Great Pyrenees. Sorry. Good girl. Good girl. I wish I could, wait, maybe I can show her to you real quick. For those of you who are watching. Well, no, I can't. No. Answer that later. Forgive me. But, gosh, I hate that. Peach and the phone call got me. You're supposed to, we've removed the survivability of, we've removed the, stop it, you're messing the audio up. We've removed the question of, am I going to survive the night, for the most part. And all the problems in our life that, I heard this probably from, I don't know, maybe it was Higher Up Wellness, a reel or something, or maybe it was a podcast clip from some guy somewhere. All the problems in our life are psychological, unless they immediately threaten our lives or our family's lives. Like, they're literally psychological problems. You can solve them mentally. You're struggling because you have a problem with it. Well, just don't have a problem with it. That's a very simplistic response to that, but it's kind of true. Just be cool with it, or find a way to be okay with it, or find a way to cope with it. I mean, not in a negative way, but just, it's in your head. I mean, this is fake, I just can't believe that we're all sitting here waiting. I know we're not all doing it, but you just don't want to sit here and wait the whole time, waste your life away. And you don't want to be fearful of things like the podcast. It's too easy, man. Just come home from the gym, put the mic on, write a few notes down, have your topic in your mind. It's not perfect, but you know what? I get better every single time I do it. And I know this podcast is labeled Hunt and Harvest, and we will be having more farmers on for their interviews. I got another one coming up, a peach farmer in June. I'm very excited for y'all to meet him from PD Orchards. And so we're going to keep all of that going, but I'm very happy to be back here with the solo podcast, talking to you, barrel of the camera, about farming, about hunting, about entrepreneurship, about life, about business, about what it is, what it takes to be human, and to not, waste your time on this planet. I know that I have a certain box that I guess I've labeled for the podcast, but I've gotten a lot of good responses from the philosophical side, I guess you could call it, of of the pod. You know, the Why the Dreams Matter pod, the one with Crew Mahoney, you know, about, what was that? No One's Coming to Save You. You can go check those out on my channel or on Spotify if you want to. Those are good episodes. But I will always be here doing these solo podcasts so long as I live. And we will we'll just keep getting better at them. And I want you guys to take this as an example that, you know, it doesn't have to be a podcast, doesn't have to be content, doesn't have to be farming. Definitely doesn't need to be farming. If you don't want to do it, do not do it because it's really hard. Doesn't have to be hunting, doesn't have to be any of that. It can be whatever you want, but you need to do it. And you need to think hard about what you want your life to look like, because I'm not saying you can't start it at 70 or whatever, but wouldn't you have rather planted that tree or that seed 30 years ago, 20 years ago, 10 years ago, 5 years ago, last year, yesterday, today? I mean, get to it. I'm trying to. And I just hope that you take this as a sign that you need to get to it too. This is a pretty short podcast, but Cooper's about to be home. My fiance is about to be home, and we're gonna wrap it up. Her and I will be doing a podcast pretty soon. Did I Mr. Miyagi that guy? We'll probably be doing a podcast, me and her, pretty soon, which will be pretty cool. I'm excited for that. But if you guys really enjoyed this podcast, I appreciate you watching. This one was definitely pretty short compared to the last 2 or 3. I think the one with Crew was 58 minutes long, and the one with Trey was about 30. But if you guys enjoyed this video, please like, please subscribe, please comment, and be on the lookout for me down at the end of the road here between Hillsboro and Chapel Hill. I'm going to be selling peaches. And I'm going to be selling tallow, grass-fed tallow, whipped tallow for like your face, cooking tallow, beef tallow for, you know, steaks or whatever. And I'm going to be selling eggs. And I'm also got a distribution connection with a coffee company. I'm not going to mention their name yet. And I'll be selling coffee from them. That's a brother-sister that I know, that I've met through a mutual friend. And they have a coffee farm in El Salvador. So we will be selling their coffee. Maybe one day we'll go over to El Salvador and meet their family and get a podcast with them. Because that's super cool. And their coffee is the only coffee I have ever drank that I enjoyed black. And I was never a coffee drinker until Cooper got this espresso machine thing. And I only make it at home. And every coffee bean I've ever put in there, except the one that I'm telling you about, can't drink it black. I gotta have that A1 whole milk, freaking tons of honey, but not this one. So it's gonna be really good. Come see me. You'll see me on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, all of that. But I will also be live streaming myself at the farm stand on a regular basis, probably two, 3 times a week, just for fun. So this is the great way for you guys to support me, is just follow along on my social media journey and then come see me at the farm stand if you are regional or local. So appreciate y'all. Take care.